American history is a conundrum, a puzzle, an enigma, a mystery, and only a few humans have ever attempted to explain the unexplainable, the history of this continent we call the United States. This is the most factual compilation to date of the amazing occurrences that have shaped this country for ages. Our archaeologists and historians have unearthed plenty of ancient relics. From this fossil record, we can piece together, piece by piece, all the pieces, even just a piece of American history. It's a difficult process. It's like scaling Mount Everest. It's exhausting and it's very cold. I hope you enjoyed this amazingly educational documentary. This land is my land.
The United States was discovered in 1492 by Christopher Columbus. Accompanied by the Pilgrims, who were escaping religious persecution in their home country, he and his 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Mayflower, circumnavigated the globe and finally washed ashore on Plymouth Rock.
Oh, my stomach is churning.
After passing through customs at Ellis Island, they found a small suburb of Boston, named it Jamestown, after James Brown, a popular singer at the time. Upon arrival, they met several helpful Native American Indians. Among them was Squanto, his wife Sacagawea, and Chief Sitting Bull. After a difficult winter, the great eternal and yet undefinable evening blessed them with a prosperous harvest. To show their appreciation, they celebrated a feast they called Thanksgiving, which included dishes such as cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie, and turkey hill iced tea. A renegade scalawag named Benedict Arnold, however, was quick to alert the British via cell phone of the United Statesians' treachery. What was their treachery? The drinking of turkey hill teas rather than the royally approved Lipton brand. This led to a war known universally as the American Revolution, also known as the Boston Tea Party. After a half an hour of fighting, however, the Redcoats were in retreat due to the colonist Indian allies' high-tech weaponry, such as bows and arrows, spears, and short-range nuclear missiles.
Soon after the Americans' victory, they decided to strap down and begin to lay out a plan for the governing of their new country. They decided to write the Declaration of Constitution. This document is remembered for its inspirational phrases.
All men are created equal, except for slaves.
No PDA, please.
Centered in Christ. Transforming lives. Changing our world.
Among the signers were such historical figures as John Hancock, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and William the Enforcer Shakespeare. Betsy Ross, a groupie of the founding fathers, decided to create a flag for the beautiful new country. She included 50 stars to represent the 50 states and 13 stripes because she ran out of fabric.
Some people didn't appreciate the subjugation of slaves that was established in the Declaration of the Constitution. Led by Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, the slave population of the United States rose up and began fighting their white oppressors. This became known as the Civil War, or the War of 1812. In the end, Malcolm X assassinated Abraham Lincoln as he sat watching The Sound of Music. Some say this was due to tensions caused by the war, and others believe it was because Lincoln's obnoxiously large stovepipe hat was obstructing Mr. X's view. Hey, take off your hat!
Me? I am the president of the United States.
Notable soldiers in the war included Ulysses S. Grant, Robert E. Lee, his brother Bruce, and John Kerry, who won several Purple Hearts for bravery.
Then women began to be oppressed. Through the works of Rosa Parks, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Betty Friedan, whose I Have a Dream speech riveted the hearts of billions, women broke off and formed their own country called the United States of America. Naturally, the president at the time, Theodore Roosevelt, was enraged and within 15 and a half minutes declared war on America. This is known as WWI. Some claim that this stands for World War I, but it actually stands for Women's War International. The American troops fought bravely but lost quickly due to the collapse of their country's economy due to a population that spent 90% of its annual income shopping. Both genders were reluctant, but after a series of 2 years in the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, they had finally moved back together. During the third of these plans, however, the forced interactions between the two genders led to a period of major social upheaval, known as the Great Depression. Sales of emo rock bands' CDs hit a 40-year high. Fortunately, by the close of the 1930s, the Depression had ended due to the invention of Zoloft.
It was not smooth sailing in the United States after that, however. Not smooth sailing at all. After the American warship, the Titanic, was shot out of the sky by German torpedoes, and the last notes of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion faded into the night, a horrible war had begun. There was lots of killing and shooting, and I'm pretty sure a few people died. Finally, the war was ended when Adolf Hitler, the King of Germany, apologizing for being such a naughty, naughty boy. The United States refused to accept this apology and sent famed assassin John Wilkes Booth to take care of it. Unfortunately, Adolf's brother, Mussolini Hitler, escaped and may still be at large.
After this marginally devastating war, the U.S. experienced a time of worldwide prosperity known as the 50s. Several major inventions were discovered, including the television, the horse-drawn carriage, the graphing calculator, and the wheel. Soon afterward, the USSR, angered by the U.S.'s vast prosperity, invented the Olympics and challenged the U.S. to an ice hockey duel to the death. This was known at the time as the Cold War. Thanks to the use of steroids and Canadian import Wayne Gretzky, the U.S. team won handily. Out of shame, the USSR changed its name to Russia.
Then came the Vietnam War and the hippies. Fortunately, both of these fads died out by the end of the 70s. During the 80s, music was invented. Such artists as Prince, Duran Duran, A Flock of Seagulls, Michael Jackson, and the quartet Dragon Lee and the Five Brothers were pioneers in their fields. This invention was also short-lived. When the 90s rolled around, music was obliterated beyond all recognition by such artists as NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, and Britney Spears.
Also in the 90s, famed inventor Thomas Edison accidentally discovered...
Discovered? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. I think you mean invented.
What? No. Thomas Edison accidentally discovered the personal computer while attempting to design a compact box using mysterious microwaves to quickly heat food. Unfortunately, soon after said invention was discovered, came a worldwide catastrophe known as Y2K. Destruction reigned across the globe. It was the end of the world. The apocalypse. The end. This has been a production of the History Channel. Refreshments are in the lobby. Thank you.